anger has been vividly quoted in many Puranas. So,
Yeah.
So
angry, powerful, angry man.
Yeah.
So the question to ask is, did you get moksha? That is the question in that life.
So is the clash between Vishwamitra and Vasishtha. Both are Maharshis.
Right.
So okay, thank you.
Yeah. Rukmini ji, go ahead.
Jai Kumar ji, there is one Pratyavaya Papa. If at given all the ashramas, they have ordained Vihita karmas. Brahmachari has supposed to do certain karmas, Grihastra, and then like that Vanaprastha at every stage. So if we don't do the Vihita karmas according to our ashrama way of life, Pratyavaya Papa we earn, that is also Shastram talks about. No? So,
Correct.
and once we do with the Sankalpa that for Antakarna Shuddhi only we do certain karmas, certain rituals that helps to gain Antakarna Shuddhi, which is a step for a Mumukshu. So this Pratyavaya Papa also, can you talk about that little bit?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I said earlier also, which is the Vihitam karma. The mandated karma has to be done, and that's a given. So regardless, so a brahmachari has certain type of karmas, and then grahastha has even more karmas. Grahastha, grahasti, and then vanaprasthi continues. Vanaprasthi begins to reduce the karmas. Vihita karma it does, but prayaschitta karma and kami karma is eliminated if possible. Why? Because the next stage is sannyasa. So look at that. Karma keeps growing, and then after a while, it has to start coming down. Okay, but Vihita karma continues. Vihita karma continues. The ordained karma continues. And Pratyavaya dosha, if you don't do, what we mean is this. Suppose a person is studying Vedanta and is clear about the vision and wants Antakarana Shuddhi, and the person does the daily rituals that are there, like Sandhya Vandanam. Now, if the person does not do Sandhya Vandanam, what happens? Then doing Sandhya Vandanam creates a punyam which will give him Antakarana Shuddhi. Therefore, that opportunity to create that punyam for Antakarana Shuddhi is gone for that person. The person lost the opportunity. That is called Pratyavaya dosha. Okay, this is the way to look at Pratyavaya dosha. I hope you are following what I'm saying. The opportunity to gain punyam is gone. Opportunity to gain the punyam which will give me the Antakarana Shuddhi is gone. And therefore I must do it. And not doing it, will it give me some papam? Well, not getting punyam is a type of papam also, right? I got a chance to free vaccination drive is going on. All senior citizen complexes. Why not go and get it done? So you don't have to look around and this, that, and is not there. That's all it is. That is the meaning of this Pratyavaya dosha. So does that help, Rukmini?
Yeah. And Panchamahayagya is there, which talks about Nitya Naimittika karmas.
Panchamahayagya, correct.
Yeah.
Mahayagya.
So it slows the process of Antakarna Shuddhi. That's what you mean to say Pratyavaya dosha. No?
Repeat that again.
So if we don't do this Vihita karmas according to our ashramas, so the Pratyavaya dosha means it will slow the Antakarna Shuddhi, because that is what it leads to.
Correct. That's what it leads to.
So Pujya Swamiji used to say there are only two things, right things or wrong things. There is no third thing. If you are not doing the right thing at a proper time, you are doing the wrong thing.
So
You know,
Swamiji would say it's only a matter of time before you do something else. It is not right.
so if you are not doing which is supposed to be ordained karmas, so that is the other way around. That is,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Vijay, go ahead. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yeah. So, yeah, today's session was mind-blowing. A lot of things to think about, right? So one of the things that, like, okay, our own karma, krodha, we have to have a check over it and work over it. That's understood. Many times, many actions that we do is also believing that we are responsible for someone's happiness or someone's unhappiness. Now, probably that also makes us do things which probably we shouldn't be doing. So maybe some part of our working should also be to realize and understand that we are not responsible for anyone's happiness or unhappiness, isn't it? We might have worked on ourselves to make sure, okay, we are not caught into the karma and krodha, and we work on it. And with the knowledge and with the sessions that I'm attending, a lot of change has happened. But many times I'm forced to believe that I have to do certain things for someone's happiness. And my fear, or I don't know what's the right word, the alertness that is required, if you're not constantly alert, you can actually, whatever you have worked on and you have progressed, can suddenly slip away also. That's in the back of my mind, because you can get indulged and then that all that you worked upon can go in vain, lost. So how to understand this dilemma and work over it?
Yeah. So the question is, I might be clear about what the Gita is saying, but then there is this chance that since I am responsible for somebody else's happiness, because there are people who depend on me, etc. And so, how do you deal with that situation? Now, we have to understand a couple of things. One is in a family setting, or in any type of setting, professional setting, there are people who depend on you for certain things. That's what a family is. And there are people who depend on you. And that's why we have duties. And so those duties have to be performed. Okay. No doubt about that. The children are there, of course, no doubt that we do our duties towards our children. Okay. Spouse, wife, husband, duties are there. And so, in fact, Swami, we commonly said, what is the duty of the husband? The duty of the husband is to make sure the wife is happy. What is the duty of the wife? It's summarized in one sentence. The duty of the wife is to make sure the husband is happy. That's it. If once both of them have this goal in life, then the marriage will be successful. Okay, that's what he used to say before. Now, having said that, we have to understand one thing. One person A cannot make another person happy. Not possible. How? I am an unhappy person. How can I make somebody else happy? Not possible. I myself am up and down, little bit, just a bit shaky here. And how a shaky person can make another person happy? Not possible. That's why we do our duty. We do our duty to the best, and then we step out of their progress. Sometimes I may be impeding their progress also. We don't know, and that is also possible. So we do our duty. We don't have to. Once we know all these things, there is no such thing as doing a lot of your duty. You're overdoing your duty, Vijayji. Nobody can tell you that. Duty is enjoyable, and the people who receive your services, they enjoy it, and so you can never overdo anything. And if depending on somebody else for your own well-being, happiness, etc., that is a problem that you need to work on. Correct? That we have to work on that. So that's a way to look at it. It's a fine balance. It's a fine balance. Somebody may be demanding. Somebody may be very demanding. How do you deal with that? A family member can be very demanding. Yeah, that possibility is there. Very demanding, and you wonder what's happened. I keep them happy, but they don't keep me happy. And so this problem can be there. So we have to look at all these situations carefully and then say, okay, I'll do whatever I have to do. And then, but I am not going to be made guilty by the other person. Maybe the other person doesn't have the intention to make me feel guilty, but I feel guilty. All these problems can be there, you know. So we have to look at that. That's why we have all these social workers and psychologists who are in our community, you know. So we have to go to them and talk to them about these things. Does that partially answer your question, Vijay?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Any other thoughts?
Jayakumar.
Yeah. I heard Haraprasad's voice.
Yes, I'm speaking.
Yeah, there you are. No, and I'm trying to spot you in this gallery.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Haraprasad. Okay, you are muted, I think. We are not able to hear you.
Can you not hear me?
Now I can. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you look into the chat when you're talking? If somebody can ask a question on chat, or do you look at it?
No, that's a very good question. Only now I'm looking at it. Pranam Jaykumarji, groups of families. Yeah, Al-Anon. Okay. There you go. Anjali said some things about alcoholic. So do you have a specific question, Haraprasad, or?
Yeah, that is a specific question, Jayakumar.
That is a specific question. Yeah. No, thank you. No, I should make it a habit to look at it more often, I suppose. I mean, I saw Srividya's message that popped up and which said Swapna was not alone.
Do you prefer to manage to ask to approach you through the chat or through the reactions?
I mean, I generally expect a Q&A. You ask and then I answer.
I know. To do that,
yeah.
What is the mode? I mean, sometimes somebody just overtakes us and we are not getting a chance.
Okay. So yeah. So do you know how to raise your hand on the computer? Like
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you what. If you raise your hand, it is very hard for me to miss that. I may miss this message on the chat box, but I will not miss the hand. Like, there you go. I saw your hand.
Yeah, and raising hand will bring them right on top. So you can immediately be spotlighted also. Otherwise, in the gallery, to find out the person who's raising hand sometimes is little difficult. Raising hand is very, like Maheshji does. So we know he immediately comes on top. We put him, we know he is asking a question.
You're muted. Haraprasad, you're muted. You're muted.
How does Mahesh do?
You can see a raised hand. It will remain there.
Okay.
Always.
Now, my question, Jayakumar, was Vihita karma. Now, do you consider prayers as Vihita karma?
So, generally, when we say Vihita karma, we mean specific rituals like Sandhya Vandanadi. Generally, that's what we mean. Daily prarthana, the prayer that you generally do, light the lamp and you chant something, etc. That is general prayer, prarthana. Generally, they don't mean that by the word Vihita karma, generally, because it's a Vihita karma is a Vedic thing. And chanting a few slokas, you stand and chant a few slokas in your puja room, it's not a Vedic ritual. It's not a Vedic ritual. Okay. It's Vedic in the sense it's a prarthana. You are chanting our own prayers, no doubt, and our devatas are there, but it's not considered. There are no Veda mantras being chanted. Correct? There are no Veda mantras. There is no Gayatri mantra, etc. So, but in a general sense, if you say, so what I said just now until now is traditional. The traditional view of what Vihita karma is. Okay, Vihita karma. So if somebody asks, are you doing all your karmas? It refers to Vihita karmas, Sandhya Vandanadi. Okay. and Tarpanadi, all these things are there. These things are you doing? That's what they will ask. But no. So this prayer, the daily prayer, we have to include it, because what about those people who have kind of not have given up a lot of their rituals for various reasons? Okay, then we bring in Pancha Mahayajna. Bring in Pancha Mahayajna. This is what we are advising people.
Yeah.
Don't worry if you don't do it, this ritual or that ritual, etc. Pancha Mahayajna you do. So Pitru Yajna is there. To your ancestors, to your parents, if they passed away, you definitely must do rituals and consult somebody and perform the rituals. And number one. Number two, Manusha Yajna. So do Dhanam to people who need help. Then Bhuta Yajna, environment. Protect the environment. Only human beings destroy the environment. Therefore, we have to protect the environment. Bhuta Yajna. Then what? What is the fourth one? Fourth one is Deva Yajna.
Yeah.
Acknowledge the ecology. Deva Yajna means ecology, the entire cosmos. And so it is an extension of Bhuta Yajna. And everything, every phenomenon that happens in this world is a recognition of the Deva. And so therefore, by recognizing those forces, I am recognizing the Devas. So Varuna Devata, Ityadi, all are there. So extension of Bhuta Yajna, it is an extension. Okay, ecology. Bhuta Yajna is immediate plants and trees, etc. Then water pollution, air pollution, that is where Bhuta Yajna comes. Then you go beyond. We go to ozone, go to solar system, and everything that is operating in the cosmos has a presiding deity, Deva, and then when I recognize those forces, I recognize the Devas. That is Deva Yajna. And so I pray, when I pray to all the Devatas, I'm actually doing a Deva Yajna. Then the last is Adhyayanam, Veda Adhyayanam. It is called Brahma Yajna. Brahma Yajna means I must study my Vedas. I must study my Shastra. Okay, I don't know all this Rudram, this, that, etc. Okay, fine. Do Shravanam. Do Bhagavad Gita. Whatever you're being taught, you chant that. That becomes Veda Adhyayanam. Okay. So we don't have to worry that I missed out this, I missed out that, etc. We already have this Pancha Mahayajna program. Yeah?
Yeah.
Mahesh.
Dhanyavad. Thanks.
Thanks, Haraprasad.
I'm just adding to what Vijayji said. He said sometimes we do things to please others, but everything we do is to please us, as Brahadharanya Upanishad said. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. So even if it makes us unhappy, because not doing it makes us more unhappy. So to get somebody off our back, we may do something which we don't want to do. So I thought we learned, I think in Tattva Bodha, yes.
Right. Yeah, so you have to be careful that relationships are not easy to, always can be complicated, and many relationships are complicated. And so Vijay's question is interesting, which is that if somebody can take away your life by being very demanding, and you can become a victim of that. And so that also one has to be careful about. It can be at home, it can be outside, anywhere. It can be your boss, it can be anything. Anybody. Yeah. All right, we'll pause with that. Vijay, anything else do we have? Okay.
No.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalasahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanataya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalasahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanataya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalasahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanataya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha. So Anjali, you had any comments on that